Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sohail. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. So, we know that we are sitting in Nust, but of course, we have to tell to the viewers. So, tell us about this department where you are working right now and what have you studied and what do you teach here?
Okay, so this is right now we are sitting at Nust School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. And in computer science, mashallah, in the world ranking, QS ranking, we are in the top 200. And SEEX is the leading institute inside Nust. And there is quite tough competition to come here. And everybody is aware of that. And I tell you about myself. So basically, I belong to KPK, and then in the small city of KPK, which is called Dera Ismail Khan, and not from the city. Then I'm from a village which is called Diwala. So I'm from that, from a small city, and then a small town. I belong to that. So my education is from there. So I love mathematics, and because of that love of mathematics, I got maybe some good grades, and then gold medal at PhD level.
That's wonderful.
Then I asked my teacher what is the best place for doing mathematics in Pakistan, and he told me, well, Qajar University. So I took admission to Qajar University back in the year 2000. I graduated from there, MSc and then MS back in 2004. At 2004, and then I got HEC scholarship for France. So then I have done my MS and PhD in the area of this surgical robotics from France, from University of Paris. And then I came back from 2003 till 2011. I was faculty member at ComSats University. Then 2011 I switched from ComSats to Nust, and for past 10 years I am teaching and I enjoy doing research here at Nust SEEX, because there is quite friendly environment, people are quite friendly, no politics at all,
that's
people
wonderful.
they help each other, so, and the students are quite genius, I learn a lot from them.
That's wonderful. I have had conversation with other instructors as well. Dr. Hassan is also one of those. He also has like approximately 7 years experience. So all the teachers who are working here, they have approximately 7, 8, 10 years of experience. This is also the strength of the Nust. Just as you are mentioning that you have 10 years of experience working here, this is such a wonderful thing that you are working here, you are loving it, and Nust is also contributing in a very better way for the nation. So sir, let's talk about the education system in Pakistan. And just as you have mentioned that you have your interest in mathematics, so let's discuss now the mathematics in Pakistan. How do they see it, and why students find it difficult? What is the reason for that? Let's take it in a broader perspective.
Yes, I mean, first of all, I'll start with the analogy. I mean, people, if they are having difficulty in learning English at the first place, they are struggling to remember APPLE, apple, okay? And then you say, well, try to see the beauty of Shakespeare's poetry. They say, well, we don't see any beauty in that.
We only see the complexities.
Yeah, they see the complexity because there are words, that there are sentences which are not making any sense to them. That's why to them there's no beauty. So same is mathematics. Whenever we are talking about mathematics, there is beauty. So if we talk about a circle, there is beauty of circumference with its diameter. So there is a ratio that remains constant. No matter wherever you take the circle, and then that constant ratio of circumference from the diameter is always 3.1415. Okay, we call it pi. Now that is a fact that people, they know the value of the pi, but they don't know that this is the hidden mystery of a circle. Okay, and so that's why they are not capable of enjoying circles, parabolas, ellipses, and so on. So because they can't see the beauty. For them, it is a boring thing. They sometimes hate it.
Yeah, it happens. And just as you were mentioning, when I know pi means 22/7, that's it. I don't know what exactly it is. So this is very common in our education system. They just simply give us the value. So if we want that our students should have interest in the mathematics, just as you see it as a beauty, they should also be able to see it the way it is, instead of getting afraid of it. So what is the ultimate solution or the baby step? Do we need to work on the mathematical teachers? That how they are communicating it to the student, they should change the pattern, or is it about the books? So how do you see it?
Well, nowadays it's blessing that we are having this YouTube, Coursera content.
Yes.
Everything is available online. So a baby step that we can take immediately is to change our exam system. That's just very small change. Okay. So we are having this Nust entry test exams over here. Almost 60,000 students. They appear every year, and only 2,000 or something like that they get admission. Okay. And the beauty of Nust entry test is that it is conceptual. It is not the memory base. You have to use all your concepts to reply to those questions. Okay. So it is not the rote learning which helps. It is the concepts, then application of the concepts. So because of that, only those people can make it who have the good concept, understanding and application of these things.
Good.
So if we can make our exams of metric and FSC like that, which are based on concepts, then that will help. Else, for metric, I tell you in advance that you give me the book and I can tell you that these are the important questions. Just have a rote learning and take the exam. Okay. So without knowing what is logarithm, what is the concept of logarithm, why we are using it in the first place. So people, they just go for the rote learning, they find the answer and they pass the exam.
Alright. So your point of view is that we should change the exam system. Yeah, that's true, because most of the time it happens that if a teacher wants to do something different, or might be teacher wants to give them the concept, at the end there is a hurdle that if they've got the concept, but in the exam what they are expecting from a student, if he is unable to do that, everything will go in vain. So the teacher themselves are bound in a box. They take it like we just simply have to cover this syllabus. That's it. We cannot talk beyond that syllabus line. But yeah, I agree. And how do you see the syllabus, by the way? Do we also need to work on that?
Yes, definitely we have to work on the syllabus, because this is not about the quantity which matters. This is the quality. I mean, if you are teaching like 100 things, it's better to restrict yourself for teaching 10 things, but teach them with concepts, try to teach them with all the understanding. So in that way, when they will learn the thing, they will grasp it and they'll say that we understand it, we enjoy it. And once they start enjoying it, then they'll do it by themselves. I mean, there's no need to push them. I mean, in the summer vacations, they'll be sitting and then they'll be enjoying these mathematics things.
Alright. And sir, how did you find your interest in mathematics?
Well, I love it, and I'm fortunate that I got the company of some good mathematicians of Pakistan, namely Dr Sohail, Dr Sarmad Abbasi. So these are the two great mathematicians of Pakistan. And the later one is also a computer scientist who love mathematics, and that love is contagious. So because my teachers, they love mathematics, I do.
That's great. And so mathematics is also one of the field that is considered as the father of all other fields, in a way that if we talk about this technology, if we talk about the computer itself, that was also invention by a mathematician. So what do you expect, what our mathematicians can do that could help this nation in future? because the changes, the advancement is coming from the other countries, from the advanced countries. How can we make this productive and we get the result, the positive and effective and the future related results from our mathematicians in Pakistan?
So, very nice question. So, we call it like the mathematics is beautiful because of its ABC. So, A for applications,
Okay.
B for the beauty, C for certainty. So, the very first thing we call for applications. So, mathematics is applied for so many things that we can't imagine.
Okay.
All the way from the very small things, like this is a project which is if people they are having some Alzheimer disease, they can the sensor can know how much their hand is shaking, and they can produce the counter movement for that. So that is a tremor project done by our students Aslam Javed and the company. So that at Stanford it got a longevity prize.
Okay.
And so there is a huge amount of mathematics involved in that, how to make filters and then electrical engineering. So from this place, from making small variable devices to the entire universe that is governed by the rules of mathematics. Like one of the capital first law of motion is that all the planets move around the sun. It's in elliptical paths with sun at one focus. So if we are talking about galaxies, if we are talking about planets, so everything they follow these mathematical laws. And therefore the great mathematician Johannes Kepler once he says that our God is a great mathematician.
What a wonderful approach to see God, because nobody has seen it. So yeah, it's good. Okay, so just as you were mentioning, this is remarkable that one student has done. So how do you see if a student is doing this? So do they get appreciation from the government, from the institutions, and they help them to accelerate further, or do they get discouraged? And because like we have seen that. If we talk in general, so people who are doing these things, people who are the mathematicians, or people who are even the teachers, they're not considered as the role model anymore. I don't know why. We're considering the role models as those actors, singers, and everything. So how do you see? Like, do we support them? Does the government support them? Institutions and everything. And how can they be acknowledged because the work they're doing? There would be the appreciation for the other student who have some passion, energy, and the current they want to do it, but they get discouraged by the society, or it might be by other factors. How do you see that?
Yes. So again, very insightful question, and I'll say with the proverb कि हीरे की कदर जोहरी को होती है. So in Pakistani nation, where only 4-5% of them are graduate, it is very difficult to find what is the use of that. What is the good thing about this innovation? They don't know at the first place why innovation, right?
Yeah, true.
So if we look at the small country like South Korea, their company Samsung is making more money than the entire GDP of Pakistan, simply because they are innovating.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Pakistan, we can't appreciate the beauty of innovation. Okay. When our students, for example, this study driver, that was an app which was made by my students to find out whether the driver is a good driver or not. So when a CEO of a company, he saw that, he said that, okay, I take the student, I take the idea, I take. So he went with the student to get a job and so on. So the point is appreciation. There are less number of people who can appreciate the beauty of that, because as a nation, a majority of them are literate, and the educated people are even less than the literate people.
Yeah, true. Well, so first of all, I must appreciate that. I mean, in your office, it's the first time I'm saying that you have presented your students' projects here instead of showing your own. Of course, like you've done a lot than your students, but still you're showing them, and you take it like an honor, and it's really amazing to see this thing from a teacher. Okay, so coming back to your answer, just as you were saying that only 4% are graduated, so of course we can, even if 4% are appreciating you, so 96% are not. 96% is a big number. How can we develop this culture in Pakistan that everybody is appreciating mathematicians? I was mentioning about Dr. Imran. He was saying that when he went to Italy, I believe, so everybody over there, they were giving him extra honor just because they knew him that he is the mathematician. But that culture is not developed here in Pakistan. So how can we develop this thing and we can give the same value to the mathematician which they deserve?
Yes. So, like, if I'm talking about Italy, if I'm talking about France, then they are having like culture of great mathematicians, like over past 4 or 5 centuries, and then in that culture there are a lot of mathematicians who come up with different ideas. And then they have given their ideas, and then there was Gauss mathematician, and then Euler, and then there were many French mathematicians as well. So in their society, so mathematician is something, a person who is a great person, right? Alan Turing, who invented this modern computer that we use every day. So he's the pioneer of modern computer. So he was a mathematician as well. So they know the advantage and the contributions of their mathematician. So in their society, there is a great thing. It's privilege to be a mathematician. And then there are school of mathematics. They are doing wonderful things as well. So unfortunately over here, we are not giving importance to the education at the first place. So that is the reason. So that will take time, but if we start today, maybe 10 years, 20 years down the road, we will be having a culture. And I also appreciate that we are talking to a person who is a teacher, and that is also a great initiative in the beginning of a revolution that we are talking about.
Yeah, we are also trying to do something for the society. So what do you think, like, are we on the track that after 10 to 15 years, we will be giving value to educationalists and to education itself?
Yes, I mean, the famous thing, if you want to plan for a year, grow rice. If you want to plan for 10 years, grow trees. And if you want to plan for a century, then educate your nation. So that is a sustainable thing. So people, they ask, wow, the government back in year 2000, they spent a lot of money on education. So what are the results? Where are the results? So they want to have immediate results. So if that is the need, maybe growing trees are good. However, if you look at the nations which are like leading the world right now, USA, then right now we are using GPS, and you use GPS to reach here. So that particular GPS is because of some astronomy center back in USA that was started 160 years back. So they spent huge amount of money for science and education. Something like 2 centuries back, they are reaping the results right now. So if we will invest right now, inshallah we'll be reaping the results.
Inshallah.
In few decades.
Inshallah. Well, sir, I know that you have other commitments as well. I would have to conclude it right now, but it was really lovely listening to you.